twice. My next guest chairs the House Intel Committee, which has been briefed on the Colonial Pipeline cyber attack. Congressman Adam Schiff, always a pleasure to have you. However, I must ask a question that defeats my own premise tonight, which is let's just get to the solution. Can you get to a solution when you cannot do it one-sided, and you now see that the GOP is dead and buried, and it has now become the party of Trump, and McConnell made it very clear, we ain't working with you guys. Can you do anything to fix anything?
Well, it's very hard. We're working with a party that doesn't have any commitment to the truth. And people who are willing to tell the truth, like Liz Cheney, are essentially kicked out of their leadership. So it's a truthless party. It's an anti-democratic party now. All that being said, there are some things that I think we can get to yes on. But this is a very difficult one. Years ago, Chris, we tried to pass a major cyber safety bill. And one of the key components of it was requiring that critical infrastructure, whether it's in public or private hands, maintain certain minimum cybersecurity standards. And the GOP wouldn't go for it. And as a result, this critical infrastructure was unprepared.
But now you have people spooked, so there's an opportunity. The private sector is going to do what any institutional setting does. They're going to keep things quiet as long as they can. You don't have the regulatory reach. Even that executive order today, I just read through the high points of it. It was like 30-something pages. It's recommendations, it calls for this. They're very narrow requirements on the private sector to report on this, and there is no requirement that they put money into it. How do you fix that?
Well, it's very difficult. One thing that might actually get these industries motivated is the insurance industry. Some of the insurance industry are now saying they're not going to indemnify for these ransomware attacks. And so the private sector might start to think, this could bankrupt us if we don't improve our cyber defenses. And we don't want to be in a position where the federal government needs to bail out this critical infrastructure. So they need to put in place proper protections. The federal government should help them, but it needs to be required because it's not just the private company that suffers, it's the American people.
100%. Required means you. Have you heard any indication from the other party, again, we got to come up with a name for them, I don't know what they are anymore, they're not the GOP, that they care about this enough to do something about it, or are they satisfied to just say it's Biden's fault?
Well, at the moment, they're satisfied to just blame everything on Biden. What will dictate their position, frankly, is what usually dictates their position, and that is money. If private industry doesn't want to take on the obligation of protecting its own infrastructure, they're going to tell the GOP, don't do it. Don't support it. We're not for it. We will dry up the dark money, whatever it takes. And so, unfortunately, they are a party very much beholden to big industry. And up till now, big industry has not wanted to have any kind of a mandate to maintain even minimal cybersecurity best practices.
Well, this is an opportunity because Colonial is not unique. We farmed out a lot and outsourced a lot of infrastructure because we thought it made sense fiscally. But we remembered that when it gets expensive is when it matters most. So there's an opportunity here. We'll be watching it. Congressman Schiff, you're always welcome to argue the state of play of getting things done here.
Thank you.